Yo, I have seen this growing sentiment, this growing movement online lately. And the idea seems to be Thailand is finished. And I think if I were to elaborate, it's that Thailand is not what it used to be. Excuse me, bear with me, let me do a little bit of pest patrol before I get into it. If your only contribution to such a topic is, I've lived here for longer than you, so I know more than you, it doesn't really work like that. If you've lived here for 25 years, well, guess what? Thailand has been around for more than 25 years. And actually, 25 years is a good number because did Danny Boyle and Leonardo DiCaprio, a young Leonardo DiCaprio, not make an excellent film called The Beach in the year 2000, where one of its central themes, not the only theme, there's a lot going on in that movie, but one of its central themes was the way that foreigners, tourists act when they come to a place like Thailand. Now, that's very much related to what many people are saying today, but there are other factors to consider. So I moved to South Korea in 2012, and the first place, the top of my bucket list, was indeed Thailand and Japan. In 2013, January, I went to both of those places for the first time, and they did not disappoint, and I sit here now in 2025 having lived in both of those places. They obviously both made a positive impression on me. My early memories of Thailand were very much just as a tourist. I wasn't looking at other tourists, I wasn't looking at the infrastructure, examining the society. I was enjoying being in Thailand. Now, everyone seems to want to be critical nowadays, but the reason you came here was because it was fun, right? The reason people come here at first is because it is a fun, amazing place. Yes, the cost of living is lower. At the end of the day, we come to Thailand primarily as a tourist to have fun. I think when people say things like Thailand is finished, Thailand's not what it used to be, go to the Philippines, go to Cambodia, go to Laos, you are looking at things just like everyone else in the conversation through one strict lens. That be your visa situation, whether that be your financial situation, your love situation, etc. Because that is life, in my opinion. We're all looking at life through one set of eyes. So yeah, to you, this is an attack. I'm not speaking to anyone directly. I'm just saying to that person who thinks that because their visa has become more difficult or because they have seen rent prices rise in the time that they have been here and it's become less and less affordable. Maybe Thailand is not what they used to be, but to other people, Thailand is the dream destination, the dream escape. The amount of people that seem to be balling up here nowadays. I'm moving to Bangkok. I've done something wild and moved to Bangkok. I would love at the age of 21 to have moved out to Thailand. I don't think I would have been here at the age that I'm at now. Take a guess how old I am in the comments. 67, you're 67. Getting there. I don't think I'd still be here at that age now had I moved there at 21. So when these people are coming here at a young age, I don't think they're here forever. And to get to the nitty gritty, I think when people do say Thailand is not what it used to be, they're probably comparing it to their start point. But not all of us were lucky enough to have seen this place untouched. I'm very envious of those who did. Imagine going to Phuket, all those beautiful beaches, all that beautiful paradise without everything else. If it was just some huts on the beach, it would be a dream come true. And that is why those places, those rare places like that still do exist, they need to be protected. But I also have the opinion that people need to make money, right? The tourists are coming. People are going to want to make money out of the tourists. And I'm not just talking about the very local businesses who we should always support, by the way. I'm talking about those big investors. So in that regard, yeah, it might be frustrating to see. A question of does this benefit the general population is one that I'm not going to get into in this video, but I think that's the perspective that we should look at things through. Thailand is not what it used to be. Is it better for the general Thai population? Not is it better for the expat population, because at the end of the day, it's not really for us. I feel like I'm very lucky to live here, to be in a very nice situation to live here. I live here with my wife. I live here with my baby. I'm a married man. I don't live in a tourist area. I'm spending as much time as possible outside in nature, introducing that lifestyle to my daughter, and also, as some of you may have seen on this channel, trying to travel to lesser known places, lesser known regions as much as I can. And yes, sometimes I do get comments on the channel saying, oh, don't ruin this place, don't ruin Rayong, don't ruin Chantaburi. But the thing is, me putting a video on here number one, I think you're overestimating my audience. I wish I had the power to build up a place or ruin a place. Also, there's businesses down there. I'm not going to places like Rayong and Chantaburi and eating at someone's house. There are businesses operating down there. So if I can shine a light on a peaceful, quiet alternative to the hectic life of Pattaya, the hectic life of Phuket, Bangkok, etc., I don't think some gang of 22-year-old hooligans from Europe are going to see my video of me, my wife, my baby walking around a national park and think, you know what, let's build our holiday around that. And write it in the comments if you've got experience. Have you seen an area that in the last 5 to 10 years has sort of changed in the way it's marketed itself, in the type of people it attracts? I've heard, and I'm not an expert on this, I've heard Hua Hin is becoming more like Pattaya. Is that true? Because I've only been to Hua Hin once, been to Pattaya a couple of times, don't know enough about either of them to compare, but I've heard that Hua Hin is going that way, and some people might like it and other people won't like it. Generally, if you're talking about the masses coming out here who just want to get smashed and eat scorpions, they know where they're going to your Phukets, your Krabies, your Pattayas, obviously your Bangkoks, your Koh San roads, sometimes up to Chiang Mai. I always try to say on this channel, it's just my opinion, I'm a nobody. Yeah, certain areas of Thailand probably have been ruined by over-tourism, over-investment, outside investment, over-development, etc. But there are still so many pieces and pockets of this paradise. And if you just open your mind to that and you accept that if you do want a little piece of paradise, maybe you've got to go in a slightly different direction, not quite as convenient, not quite as accessible, but when you get to these places, well, worth it. I think if you go in with that mindset, that perspective, you can still find in this country the greatest memories, the greatest happiness, the greatest vacation that you will ever experience. And there are times when I think to myself, just like anyone, will I be here forever? I mean, I'll be with my family forever. My wife is Thai, but I mean, we met in Japan. We lived in Japan for 5 years together. So we are not intrinsically tied to Thailand. I think to myself, where would I be happier than here? Possibly in Japan. I do have a foundation there, a basis there, and it is somewhere that I'll never shut the door to. The UK government make it extremely difficult for a citizen to relocate their family there. You can look into that if you wish. I'm not the type of guy who's personally willing to be away from my wife, my baby for a year, for 2 years. Ultimately, there's no guarantee. So that's beside the point. The point is, where can I find happiness for me, my wife, my baby? I can't think of anywhere better than here. Of course, you know, I'm sat here making YouTube videos, and you go online nowadays and everyone's an expert on Thailand talking about absolutely everything. But when you come here, you can find that peace. After I got that party perspective out of my system, after I had those experiences, after I moved on, what I find here in Thailand is ultimately peaceful. Some people might find it a bit too peaceful if I were to lay it out to you, but we are happy. I've got a kid, I'm not single, I'm not out chasing the skirt, etc. If you want to live a hectic life, that's here too. So do I think Thailand's finished? Absolutely fucking not. More popular than ever, but the big asterisk is that benefiting the local people? To me, that is the ultimate question. It is finished, who's suffering? Or if it is getting better, who is benefiting from that? The locals, the investors, etc. I think that's the bigger question, in my humble opinion. Hope you've enjoyed this little ramble, guys, and I'm sure I'll hear from some of you in the comments down below. See you in the next one. Bye bye.